Look, I know it's only been 2 weeks since I did a book haul, but I have a perfectly reasonable explanation. Don't judge me. So originally I was gonna do a different video today, but last night I was hanging out with my friend Chris, and he had like 5 boxes of old books that he had saved from getting pulped, and he was just gonna take to the Goodwill. So he asked me if I wanted to pick through them, and I said yes. And so now I have 18 books to show you. Okay, let's get started. So first I have Trickster's Choice and Trickster's Queen, both by Tamora Pierce. I have never read any Tamora Pierce, which is kind of weird because Tamora Pierce writes like feminist YA fantasy, which is like crazy relevant to my interests. And like it seems like the majority of girls roughly my age who grew up like weird and nerdy were totally into Tamora Pierce when they were like 12. But I never did that, so I need to read some Tamora Pierce. I missed out. So when I first spotted this one, I just saw the spine that said The Once and Future King, you know, by T.H. White, and I was like, oh, I haven't read that yet. I should probably read that. That's kind of like a formative text. And then I realized that it was a tie-in edition for the film version of the musical Camelot, and I was like, yes, I have to have that. This one is The Dante Club by Matthew Pearl. So this one takes place in Boston in 1865, and someone is committing a series of murders based around Dante's Inferno, and then a group of early Dante scholars, including like Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and stuff, like have to solve the crime. I will read literally anything that involves a real-life historical figure solving a mystery, so I am super excited about this. Next, I got a bunch of individual copies of Shakespeare plays. I've been wanting to read more Shakespeare plays, and like I have a complete works, but it's very hard to like actually read because it's so huge, and these are much less unwieldy and have like footnotes and supplemental material and stuff, so that's nice. So I've got The Taming of the Shrew, Othello, and Twelfth Night, which is actually a pretty nice edition. Like these two are just Dover thrifts, but this is like the Pelican. It's really nice. I found a copy of Slapstick by Vonnegut, which I'm crazy excited about because I've really been in the mood for some Vonnegut lately. This one is about the apocalypse, I believe. That should be good. Next up is this really nice Penguin edition of The Yellow Wallpaper, Herland, and Selected Writings by Charlotte Perkins Gillman. And I have read The Yellow Wallpaper. I actually have a collection of 4 short stories by American women already that it's in, but I haven't read any of her other writings, so I'm very excited to have this. Then I have Dubliners by James Joyce. James Joyce is one of those authors who's kind of intimidating, and I don't know that I will ever be prepared to read Ulysses, but I feel like I can handle short stories, which is what this is, so that should be good. Next is a copy of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I read Wuthering Heights back in high school for an English class, and I hated it, but I've been recently wanting to read it again and see if I like it more as an adult. That is also why I grabbed this copy of The Awakening by Kate Chopin, because I hated it when I read it in high school, and I think I would be much more into it now. And I picked up The Winter of Our Discontent by John Steinbeck for a similar reason, which is that I'm trying to get over my John Steinbeck bias, because I hated The Grapes of Wrath when I was 14. I also picked up a copy of The Great Gatsby, which I already have read and in fact own, but I flipped through this one and it has really good supplemental material. I know, shut up. I also got Candide by Voltaire. I've never read Candide, but I always thought it sounded really interesting, so I'm happy to have a copy of this. I got a copy of Selected Plays by Oscar Wilde, which is awesome because I'm pretty sure I've only actually read The Importance of Being Earnest, but I love it, and so obviously I want to read more. This edition has The Importance of Being Earnest, but also Salome, Lady Windermere's Fan, A Woman of No Importance, and An Ideal Husband. And finally, I may now own 2 volumes of the Norton Anthology of American Literature. I doubt I will attempt to read them straight through. I will probably just like dip in and out of them as a fancy. These are neat to have though. They're generally pretty expensive. Okay, that's it. That's all the books. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.